Good morning 2D and 2B and welcome to Wednesday's English lesson. So far this week we have worked really hard. We've written some information pages about Christopher Columbus. We've had a go at designing an advert to advertise Rebecca's special red crayon. And today we're going to apply our knowledge of what we've learned to a different kind of text. But before we do that, hopefully you have seen my spelling activity for today. If you haven't, today is a fun spelling activity and we would like you to practice your spellings outside. So you will need a little pot of water, you will need a paintbrush, or you could use a stick that you found outside. Maybe you could even see if you could use a leaf to write your spellings. And you're going to use this week's spelling words from your termly overview to practice writing your spellings outside. So if you haven't done that yet, you might want to pause the video now and go and have a go and come back. Or you might have already done it, or you can go and do it later. But that is your spelling activity for today. Now, today we are going to be learning about part of the story that we haven't talked much about before. And in the story of Journey, there is an adventure and a mission that Rebecca completes, but we haven't talked about it yet. Now, I know that you might not have this book at home, but I do know that some children, before the school closed, when we came back for that one day, some children had a peek in the book. So you might already know what adventure and mission I'm talking about. But if you don't, that's okay. Because what I'm going to do is I've chosen some pages from the story, which I've got here in front of me. And I'm going to show you some different pictures because we know this is a wordless book, isn't it? So it's just got pictures in this book, which is what makes it so special. And I'm going to show you some of the pictures from the book. And I want you to see if you can spot what you think I might be talking about. Okay. So here's the first picture. You can see Rebecca in her hot air balloon. Wonder if you can spot anything. And the last one. So they are the pages we're going to be looking at today. Did you spot anything? I spotted something in the story that we hadn't seen before and we hadn't talked about before. And you might have spotted that Rebecca rescues a purple bird. And that is the part of the story that we're going to be looking at today. You might have spotted that purple bird on the page. So, to start with, I've got some different pictures that I've taken from the book. Let's talk through each picture and think about what we can see. Let's start with this first picture at the top. What can you see Rebecca's doing? What is she inside? Where is she? What's she got in her hand? What do you think? I'll give you 10 seconds. I can see Rebecca is inside a hot air balloon. So she drew a hot air balloon, she jumped inside her hot air balloon, and now she's floating above and through the clouds. Then we move on to this picture. What can you spot? I can see some white fluffy clouds, but I can also see something else. What can you see? I can see a purple bird. And this is the first time that Rebecca spots the purple bird in the story. Oh! I can see the purple bird still in this picture, but what's that behind it? What can you see? What do you think this might be? Have a look closely at the picture. So I can see our purple bird, and it looks like the purple bird might be trying to get away. It's flying and it's gliding through the sky, but why is it trying to get away so quickly? I can see here that they're holding a net. What do we think they might be trying to do to the bird? Maybe they're trying to catch the bird, and that's why the bird's flying away. Maybe it's a special bird, and that's why they want to catch it. What do we think that this might be? Is it a car? Is it a plane? Is it a submarine? What is it? I can see that it's grey and it's got a propeller at the back. Perhaps it's a grey airship. It's floating through the air and they're trying to catch the purple bird. What can you see has happened here then? I can still see the grey airship and I can see Rebecca's hot air balloon. Where's the bird gone? Look closely. Can you see the bird? Can you point to it? Here it is. They're putting the bird inside a cage. Who do we think these people might be around? Maybe they're the fierce, scary guards that we talked about. Then we can definitely see the fierce guards in this picture, and it looks like they're guarding the purple bird so that Rebecca can't get it. What can we spot her doing over here? What can you see? I can see that Rebecca is climbing the ladder to get the purple bird. I wonder if they know she's there. Oh, let's look at this picture. Rebecca has got the purple bird in the cage. And the guards look shocked. They weren't expecting her, were they? And then the last picture, we can see Rebecca's got away from the fierce guards and she set the purple bird free. So today we're going to be focusing on these pictures and we're going to write a recount as though we are Rebecca. And we've done that lots of times in English already, haven't we? We know that if we are pretending to be Rebecca, we need to write in the first person. So we might use words like I or I was, I'm, we, me. We are pretending to be Rebecca. And we're going to write a recount of these pictures. Who can remember that long, tricky word that we talked about? Something order. When we're writing a recount, we need to make sure that it's in, what was that tricky word? Chronological order. That means that we start with the event from the beginning and we go in order to the end. And that's what we're going to look at today. So, what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you my example of how I might write the recount to match each picture. So, starting with the first picture where we could see Rebecca inside her hot air balloon. And today, when we're writing our recount, we know that a recount is written in what tense? The past tense. So I would like you to keep your eyes peeled for those past tense verbs. Are you ready? Let's go. I drew a hot air balloon with my special red crayon. I floated into the cloudy blue sky. I looked over the edge to see what I could see. Can you spot those past tense verbs? How many can you see? Let's have a look. I drew. We know drew is a past tense verb. We don't say drawed, we say drew. I drew a hot air balloon with my special red crayon. I've also remembered those adjectives to describe my crayon. I floated into the cloudy blue sky. I looked over the edge to see what I could see. So we've got 3 past tense verbs, but I've also remembered to make it more exciting, I've also used adjectives to describe. So I've got cloudy blue sky, special red crayon. So just to make it that little more interesting, I've also included those past tense verbs, adjectives, and then like we said, we also need to remember our first person, and we can see we've got I. That's where we are Rebecca today. Let's have a look at the next picture so we can see the purple bird for the first time. In the distance, I spotted a beautiful purple bird. It was gliding smoothly through the clouds. Which past tense verbs can you spot this time? Let's have a look together. In the distance, I spotted a beautiful purple bird. It was gliding smoothly through the clouds. So I'm not saying it is, it was, because it's in the past tense. It was gliding smoothly. Let's have a look at the next picture. Suddenly, a grey airship appeared. I've got an exclamation mark. A fierce guard was holding a large net to try and catch the bird, and they were getting closer and closer. What past tense verbs can we see? Suddenly, a grey airship appeared. A fierce guard was holding a large net to try and catch the bird, and they were getting closer and closer. So not they are, because that would be in the present tense. They were. Remember, it's already happened. Sadly, the guards caught the bird and locked the poor bird into a cage. I decided that I was going to rescue the bird. So sadly, the guards caught the bird and locked the poor bird into a cage. I decided that I was going to rescue the bird. The bird was kept in a tall tower, and 2 guards were keeping watch. I crept up one of the ladders. So the bird was kept in a cage, was kept in a tall tower, and 2 guards were keeping watch. I crept up one of the ladders. As quick as a flash, I grabbed the cage and ran away as fast as I could. The guard chased me, but I just kept on running. So as quick as a flash, I grabbed the cage and ran away as fast as I could. The guard chased me, but I kept on running. And then the last picture. I sprinted to the end of the bridge. I opened the door of the cage and released the bird. The bird soared high into the sky. I was happy the bird was free. I sprinted to the end of the bridge. I opened the door of the cage and released. What do you think released means? I released the bird. So if we're releasing it, she's letting the bird out. She's letting the bird free. The bird soared high into the sky. I was happy the bird was free. Okay, so your job today is you're going to use the exact same pictures that we looked at in the lesson, and you're going to write a recount. So you don't need to print off the pictures or stick them. The pictures are just there to remind you what's happening, and we're going to be writing it in paragraphs. So each picture is a new paragraph, and we've got some sentence starters to match each picture to help you. So for the first picture, your first paragraph, I drew, I floated, I looked. How can you use those sentence starters? Remember, we're using those past tense verbs. In the distance, I spotted. How could you describe the purple bird? Suddenly, what happened? Fierce guards, what were they trying to do? Sadly, what happened to the bird? So what did Rebecca decide to do? The bird was, I crept, as quick as a flash, the guard. So these are each different sentence starters. So you can finish the first sentence, then move on to the next one. And then the last picture, I sprinted, I opened, and the bird. What happened to the bird? So you're going to use this scaffold sheet today to help you structure your recount for the different paragraphs, and then you've also got lots of sentence starters on there to help you. So a quick recap. Remember, we're looking for those past tense verbs. We're looking that you're talking in the first person. You are Rebecca. Can you get any really interesting and exciting adjectives in there to describe what's happening here, to really help me create a picture of what's happening in the story? So I look forward to reading your recounts as Rebecca about this really exciting part of the story. Happy writing, everyone. Bye.